resting in welcoming and gathering, collecting, settling these suggestions, and then knowing of how that is received in time and place, in here, in here, in the heart, now. A breath received, relaxed, space, released, out breath, a rhythm experienced. A welcome and gathering and collecting in this silence, in this space, in this presence. In this knowing. Sensitivity of life, the all of it, reconnected, in the whole of it, the all of it, the moment, the now. This full experience. Equally received in the gift of care and attention and kindness and sufficiency of this moment. Sufficient, enough, let go and trusted in that letting go. In this moment. And the breath, the rhythm, and the knowing. And the soles of the feet, the connection, the weight of the body, the skin, the flesh, and the bones. The energy of the kind attention to this space, the space and the space, and the energy of the energy, and the knowing, sense of inside and outside, and the knowing, neither inside nor outside. And both. The whole of the breath, and the quality of attention sustained. This knowing, this now, this year, this place, this time. the whole of it, and collecting and the welcoming and the gathering. The mystery of it, the experience of sustaining and gathered attention, and permission given and received, attention given and life received, all of it, the whole, nothing needed, nothing overwhelming, nothing grasped for, nothing rejected. No place to stand. There's this, in this here, this now, this suchness, this appreciation in this gathering, this interest and joy in this knowing. I expect you know the feeling of forgetting where something is, forgetting where you've put something down, forgetting which pocket it's in, or which bag it's in, or which drawer it's in, or where it is in the files on your computer. And sometimes the feeling that comes with that is strong, and sometimes it's a sort of almost feeling of panic. Where did I put this? And the sense of I want to get rid of this feeling. So the searching for it, searching for the lost object, the longing for it. And then sometimes there's a sense that it's that sense of longing for something that you'd lost or put aside. At some point there's maybe sort of pushing aside of that sense of loss because it's not found. And that's interesting. And then the sense of joy, or the sense of, oh, there it is, when it's found. That's noticing that sense of, and for the most part, and these things can seem incredibly important at the time, and then maybe they are incredibly important at that time. But it's an interesting and powerful feeling for me. Where did I put that? What did I do with that? Where's that? And the sense of, I shouldn't have been so stupid to have put it. Why didn't I label it differently? Why didn't I put it somewhere where I? And that whole story that comes up, and I wonder sometimes when I wander through this endless, aimless, one event after another, where did I put this mindfulness? Where did I put this clear attention? Why don't I feel that sense of desperation when I lost my keys or forgotten put something down and forgotten to pick it up, or where's that book? I think nowadays the sense is possibly most around maybe one's credit card, or maybe one's wallet, or maybe nowadays, where did I put my phone? And this sense of I'm not complete without this thing, and the sense of I left it behind somewhere. Where did I leave it? Is it in the and yet all of those, the things, other things, and sometimes we'll find them, and sometimes we won't, and sometimes we'll find them a lot later. Sometimes we'll come across them some other time. There's the old and stupid joke where you always know where something that one's lost is. It's in the last place you'll look, which is a ridiculous statement. But for the sense of attention and kindness that when that's found, when that's realized, how does that feel? And why is the distraction around? We don't even notice when we've lost it. There's a sadness there. So do appreciate when we are in touch with it. Do appreciate when where there is a sense of presence and collectedness, a sensitivity, and a knowing that is not personal. Now there's a sweetness in that and a joy in that. I think for some people, that sense of connection and joy and sweetness in that presence here and now is sought in another. And that, and there's an instinct about that. There's an instinctual thing about that, and it's not wrong, but it's part of what this thing, this body, is about. And I think that it can, the way that it can sometimes work is around wanting something and the bliss of sex, and there's a danger in that, and not seeing the danger in that, the dwelling in that sense of wanting it from another, and the closeness and the connection that comes. And what to do with that. This form is a celibate form, and the suggestion that most monastic training is about this body, and how the dwelling around this body, in the dwelling in the sense of the thoughts around this body, and the emotions around this body, and the motivation around this body. And then, when one examines this as it is, the bits of this body are just the bits of this body. They're not anything more. And this is the way. This is the one to really contemplate. The hair of the head, the hair of the body, the nails, teeth, and skin. This is the basic reflection when people undertake the training as a samanera, as a renunciant, as a celibate. And these are the ones to really, because these are the ones when the sense of wanting to join, or wanting to touch, or wanting to experience some bliss come about. It's about the skin, it's about the touch, the smell, the sound, the sight. But if these components, these bits, the hair of the head, the hair of the body, the nails, teeth, and the skin, when they're peeled off and experienced like this, then it's time. That sense of wanting it to be more, or wanting it to be otherwise, or wanting to get something from it, that can cool. That can cool. So really using that reflection so that the seeking it from another is not, because there's a recognition that there's nothing in here, in itself, that's inherently in the body as it in its bits, that's going to do, that's actually going to ever satisfy. Because the connection and the around the separation is always going to be limited, and always going to be time and space dependent. Whereas what is always going to, what will always, what is outside of time and space? Where is there a joy and a what has been forgotten? What are we pulled aside from by aimless wandering, giving importance to things that aren't that important? This is the sort of question or the challenge that we can give ourselves. In the sense of anxiety and separation that we feel when we've put something down and we think we've lost it. Where's my phone? Where's this most important thing? Where are my keys? Where did I put that? Why haven't I? And a sort of sinking feeling of feeling stupid. Can we give that sort of can we notice the stupidity that we dwell in when we don't connect with here and now clear kindness, here and now clear knowing, when there isn't that connection? And not seek it elsewhere. And we've got this, and when we can connect with or recollect that something that's not personal. It's not me connecting with something that's not personal, because that's a contradiction in terms. There's a strangeness in that. Because the personal is always going to be bound up with hair of the head, hair of the body, nails, teeth, and skin. The thing is going to get old. It's going to get sick. The transformations that it can produce are always going to be in some way wasteful and unsatisfactory. Because this is the nature of this limitation. And the transformations that are destructive through the fire of greed, the fire of hatred, the fire of delusion, Now, how destructive they are is dependent on the strength of those fires. And the way that if they're able to ignite fires in others, there's a sadness about that. And yet that's how it is. And that's how it is. And this is how eventually nature will just deal with things. Nature is infinitely kind and infinitely indifferent also. The kindness of nature is indifferent. It doesn't pick and choose. It's not kind to one thing or another. It's just how it turns out. There will, in time and space, things will work out. Endlessly they'll work out. But what's outside time and space? What is it that will satisfy us more than sex, more than connection, more than closeness to people, more than feeling that somebody cares about us? Because in the end, those things really, really don't matter. Things will just work out as they work out. Within time and space, we do the best we can within the form, within the business of the kindness of human beings, because human beings are basically kind. That's what they do. Without kindness, life doesn't exist. And society certainly doesn't exist. It's a broken thing. Now, in terms of the triple gem, we have the Buddha as a refuge. The Dhamma as what is awoken to, and what is discovered. And the Sangha is this society, and how this society can work together. And this is the time of working together, actually. It's called the Katina time. It's the time of celebrating the possibility of working together. The community comes and as a piece of cloth is offered, a decision is made about who to make a robe for. A robe is made that is everyone joins in for, and a robe is offered. This is a katina, is the ceremony. The word actually refers to a frame which was used for hand sewing. So it's a time to, the way that the training for this strange society called monks, bhikkhus, is worked out, is that in the performing of the katina ceremony, in the fulfilling of the katina ceremony, there are privileges offered to, or things are, rewards offered to the community. And then for the people supporting this katina, the rewards are supposed to be great. And one can see it's a time of communities getting together and working together. It's a beautiful, kind thing to be doing, to intend, to speak about, and to encourage and to do. You know, this is what's possible. This is part of what's possible for these humans, these strange beings that have these worries, hopes, and fears. Wonder where their phone is. What have I lost? What can I get hold of? What do I need? What do I need to get rid of? And yet these bodies are just going to get older. They will get sick. And one way or another, the bodies will end. So getting too concerned about finding, sensual satisfaction out of them, it's going to be disappointing. It doesn't work like this. These bodies are, hair of the head, hair of the body, nails, teeth, and skin. And if you break them up like that, there ain't much that's. And if you look at it for one's own body, this one is the one to really work with. Worry about other people's bodies later. This one is the one that one has to live with 24 hours a day with. And then don't let the projection outwards. And keep the attention in and find a joy in blessing the society that one is in, not looking to get or get rid of anything in it. But work out how to be kind within it, how to be attentive within it. This is the best that one can do, I feel. It's not much, but it's what this is what's possible. And beings have different capacities. And there's a sense of gratitude for the structure that allows this thing to work together, which is the training. And the training in humanity and the training in society. And the basic training for humans is a conscious training in the 5 precepts, which is not, making it conscious helps, because that gives life to it, and giving life to beautiful human conduct is great. It is natural, but giving life to it by making it more conscious is something that we can do, so we can undertake the 5 precepts. We can undertake the 8 precepts from time to time. We can actually practice giving up the sexual business and dwelling on that. And working with what is. This is the society and the time and the place that we find ourselves. And each one is particular and peculiar. And it's how it is. With this limitation. And offering the support we can. It's not insisting. and also not feeling compelled. Um, when there's a sense of being driven, be wary that what one is driven for, there's this sense of, I need to find my phone, or I need to find this. Be careful about that. And more feel the need, I really need to practice attention and care at this moment. With that sort of same sense of, this is where the attention inward in knowing what's happening. If we can, that sense of urgency can be around. We can reconnect with, I don't think we do reconnect. I think it's just, this is how it is. I don't think it's me doing anything, because then there's a mistake happening. So if this is of any help, please use it in whatever time and space you find yourself. Whatever now and here, whatever here and now, whatever silence, whatever space, whatever moment. Know the knowing, or knowing. Know the kindness. And the clarity of here and now. Offer that for your consideration this evening. So if there are questions, then fine. If there are no questions, that's also fine. I think you asked that question last week, and I haven't looked it up. So I have no idea. I've lost it somewhere in the dictionaries and Pali explanations of this universe. I think it's to do with taking things personally. Probably not taking things too personally. And in terms of cloth offered, what type of cloth is offered? It depends on the monastery, it depends on the time, it depends on the place. People offer all sorts of cloth, all sorts of clothing. And usually, most monasteries have too much. Most monasteries have too much cloth, too much clothing. A bit like many people. Not quite as many as some people have in some of their walk-in closets, but many monasteries and many monks have too much stuff nowadays. There's a certain sadness about that, because some of the stuff that we accumulate is difficult for us to offer on to others. There's a basic need for running monasteries, for funding. There's a basic need for food on a daily basis of some sort, somehow. But beyond that, for the most part, Many monasteries, particularly in the West, have too much cloth and too much clothing. And that's how it is. Too many socks, sometimes. Not always. Goes through phases. I don't know about remotely. We're not trying to set something up. I imagine that in some of the monasteries, Nick, there will be a way of joining in the Katina ceremonies. I checked some of the other monasteries' website. I imagine Amaravati almost certainly. There'll be a way of connecting remotely. They have a really good setup now for that. At the moment, this monastery does not have a super duper setup for remote connection to many people in many situations. It's just the way it is. We haven't set it up. We haven't invested the time and the effort to do that. Or just this much. Thank you all.